Hello Internet, I'm Liam Montier, and I thought it would be good fun for Kaymar Magic to do a bit of an unboxing. So part of Kaymar Magic, obviously, is that I bought it years ago, and I used to work there yonks and yonks back with Morley Budden. And over those years, these boxes of stuff have just accumulated, where people have, from second-hand Magic, or bits that have come in, or old demo stuff, or missing parts, where all those things get just tossed into a box and then into another box, and over the years this stuff accumulates, and there is a huge amount of it in my loft right now, and I was just up there for something else, and I come across one of the boxes. There's about 6 or 7 of these, I think, that are absolutely full with stuff. So what I thought we'd do is just go through it. I haven't looked too much into it. I've peered in, but there looks like there's some pretty funky bits. But I thought we could all learn a few tricks together, or enjoy a video of me for half an hour going, well, I don't know what any of this is. So we've got a few bits and pieces. So let's have a look. We're going to grab the first thing here that we've come to, which is a little red wallet, which is very nice, and looks like a business card case. Important, keep this card. Remove protective coating from business. Some sort of John Cornelius. Oh, okay, so it's like a rising business card trick, I think, where you have your little wallet there. There's a hole in the back, so I think you kind of open it up and then you use your thumb to make your business card rise up out of the holder. Never seen that before. That's pretty weird and pretty funky. John Cornelius stuff is normally pretty good, so that is a good find. So box number 2. There's a little mysterious box here with well, this is the this isn't a trick you could do very much anymore, I suppose. The old vanishing cigarette. I don't know how many people would remember this. This was a trick from years ago. You would have a full-size cigarette and you put it into the tube. You put the cap on. You talked about how dangerous smoking was. You gave it a shake, and then when you tipped it up, the little cigarette came out like that to make it safer to smoke. And oh, there we go. Typical won't work now. The idea was, of course, that there we go. You had your little cigarette insert there. You could put your baby one in, and then you covered the ends, that black rim, with your finger as you showed the cigarette. It's quite convincing, actually. God knows how old this one is. And then you dropped it into the tube, and they lock in place normally. So you dropped it in, you put the cap on top, and then you push down, and that locked it in. Very thin. And then you undo the lid, tip out the baby cigarette, and then the idea was you could hand it out to be examined, because it really does look empty, and there's no way you can get the thing back out without this little doodad that screwed in. You twisted it and out it came. So yeah, I don't know, not very topical magic now. I haven't seen those for years. I don't know if they're still available or what have you, but there you go. So that's the diminishing cigarette there. That's obviously a classic trick. There is a whole bag of what looks like the same gimmick and slightly different versions, maybe. Loads of baby cigarettes and some sort of plastic doodad. No idea what that might be. Interesting. This, of course, everyone will recognise that, or everyone who's done magic for far too long. Is a bill tube. So the idea of this was that your spectator's banknote would vanish, and then it would appear inside. They'd unlock it, undo that, then take a look inside, and in there would be their note. You'd have to get some tweezers out for that. And yeah, it looks like it needs a bit of brass though. And that's how they worked. You pushed the pen in through the bottom. That bit came out. This is a particularly nice one, actually, because you can see inside there's a little rim on the inside, so that would mean that this is thick, so the actual join of where your secret tunnel is going is actually totally concealed from in there. So yeah, I don't know who made it, but that's pretty cool. So that's how you'd use it. You'd set up like that, and you could use it for a prediction as well if you were a mentalist, like a anything that you've you know, secretly written. You could load back in there, so you could have the thing locked, give your spectator the key, and then you just drop your rolled up banknote or prediction in there, push it closed as you bring it out of your pocket, and then it's totally examinable because that's locked in there now, and you really can't see. They're quite nicely made, whoever's done this one. Really can't see anything there. And of course they open up the lock, and inside is their banknote. So that's pretty cool. So we found a bill tube as well. We're going good. There's a mysterious looking little red bag there. There's a couple of mysterious looking red bags. Let's have a look at this. So, mysterious red bag number 1. Oh my god. Load of Pat Butcher jewellery. I don't know what trick that was, but that doesn't look like a trick I'd want to be involved in. There's loads of old tricks with rings, and you tie. Yes, I was going to say where you kind of tie them around a wand, and then when you pull the wand out, all the rings come free. Weird trick. Like, weird to think that was a trick at some point. Yeah, not really my bag there. So there you go. There's some jewellery. Beautiful. Mysterious red. The bag might come in handy for something though. And mysterious bag number 2. Oh man, what have we got here? We've got a bunch of brass letters. Oh, some of which are double-sided. So those. Okay. Alright, I've got no idea what trick this is. If you have an idea, then for God's sake, let me know. This is not sure quite what we can get on there. You can spell sling. So those are the single-sided. So the single-sided spell sling. Or, yeah, I think that's probably about it. And then we've got another one here. You can spell... You can spell butt sling. I can't imagine that is actually part of the trick, but you never know. Or you can spell rack. Rack butt sling. I don't know. If you know what that is, let me know. With the mysterious trick of the brass letters, that one has completely defeated me there. Alright, so what have we got here? Let's grab another pile of stuff. So here's a big pile of bits. And here, time machine. Oh man, so this is one of the old... oh, I bet it won't work. This must be years old. These are a lot of fuss about these when they came out. Magic Makers, the time machine. And it was like a watch where you could hold it up and a spectator would name a time, and the thing would, you know, the watch would be set at the time that they had named. It was a pretty cool trick back in the day. I don't know. Oh, there you go. So there's there's the watch. And these, see if this one still works. No, I don't think it's going to, because it's years old, isn't it? So what happened with these, you used to pull the stopper out the watch, and then when you tilted them at an angle, the hands would move on their own. And you would just be holding it up, and you'd say, hey, name a time, and they'd say 6 o'clock. And then you'd, or, you know, 10 past 6, whatever. And then you go, oh, hey, you know, I'll, you do a bit of presentation. Oh, anyway, I could have told that time. And then when it came up to the time you needed, you just kind of held it flush, and then you could bring it down and show that it actually had their time on it. So, yes, it might just need a change of batteries, but that's well beyond my capabilities. But yeah, so that's I'm sure that was Magic Makers that used to make that. The time machine. They did loads of different styles as well. I haven't seen one around. I don't know if it's still a produced thing. We got something here called the Missing, with a bunch of plastic sheets with some cards on each one. Okay, so this is going to be like the Magic Age cards, I guess. So, yes. Okay, so according to the instructions on here, you have someone think of a card. You give them the plastic sheets, and they keep only the sheets that have their thought of card on and hand you the rest. Okay, so let's say we're thinking of the 10 of clubs. You'd give that one back to the magician, and that one. You'd keep that one, give that one back, keep that one, give that one back, that one back. And then, right, okay, so what happens then is, as the magician, you'd square up the ones that they've given you back, and it should make a full set except for one that's missing, which is the 10 of clubs over there. So that works with whatever card they choose. That's pretty weird. That's called the missing, apparently. Again, no producer on there. They didn't go nuts with the instructions. It's literally like, yeah, like a little strip of loo roll or something, and in a bag that doesn't close. But there you go. That's the missing. That's interesting. These are the old. This is a bunch of old snapper gimmicks, which again, you don't really see anyone doing this stuff anymore. This was a good gag thing. Oh, and there's also a plastic pencil. Useful. There we go. So you would have these things with the... If you've not seen it before, this was the bet. You'd have one of these with an elastic band hooked through, which they could see through there. If I aim at the camera, you can just see a rubber band in there somewhere. And the idea was that you could hook it with this little device. You put it in, and as long as you twisted it twice away from you, and then half a twist back, then it caught onto the band. And that was how it worked. And then you'd unhook it and give it to them, and of course they can never hook the band. It was a silly trick, really. But if you got someone, you got them really good. The secret was that you never... it's impossible to hook the band because the thing just doesn't reach for a start. But you just squeeze the top, and that makes it shoot back as if it's attached to the elastic band. And the thing that I used to do that really drove people nuts was you'd say you'd put it on, turn it 2 times away from you, and then half a turn back, but the half has got to be really precise, and then that'll lock it on. And of course, you have a lot of fun with that when they're trying to do the same thing. With so many in different bits, oh man, how old is that? Oh, that rubber band has just died on there. Grim. We used to do a routine with these and have 3 of them, and they'd have identical bands, and you could do like a Monty. You could say, look, this one's caught on, but these 2 aren't, and then mix them around. And you know, that's an idea if you've got a bunch of those kicking around. It's also anything where you struggle for a presentation, you can kind of just buy 2 more and then do a Monty with it, and it, you know, people are always interested in that. I'm not sure what the pencil is. That, yeah, it doesn't write. It's literally just a plastic pencil from something, but fair enough. Alright, and then we've got a little leather thing, but nothing in there. Okay, so that's pretty good. Mysterious red bag number... I know what one of these is. Any fans of the Miser's Dream will dig this, I reckon, because... you go, Shazam! There's a coin on the end of the wand. Look at that. I mean, you can take it off and drop it in your bucket, and there's another one underneath your spectator's armpit or in their teeth or something. Drop it in. So it's operated by the thumb, and then like a folding coin, which kind of retracts back into the end of the wand. Look how cool that is. I'm amazed that's still... well, I was going to say I'm amazed the rubber band's still holding up, but I don't know that it is a rubber band. Because it doesn't look like there's a proper edge on the coin. Yeah, I've got no idea how that's actually working. Interesting. So there you go. There's a Miser's Dream coin wand, I guess we would call that. Okay, so a lot of this is just rubbish by the looks of it. So a lot of this will be headed towards the bin. But let's just grab a handful of stuff and see if we can work out what any of this is. There's a lot of loose cards and stuff as well, so we don't need the bag. Hank Morehouse lip power. This was a favourite trick of Morley's back in the day, because I remember him doing this. And this was like a trick with, yes, that's right. You had a bunch of numbered cards, and they went from ace to king. and your spectator chose one. Always a girl. You had the girl choose one. So she chose the 7 of diamonds, for example, and you put that down in her hand. And you showed all the rest of them were regular, but then she blew a kiss at the 7 of diamonds for whatever reason. Then that's the one that had the lips on the back. It was a pretty clever trick because it worked with whatever they named. Yeah, I won't reveal it, but I'm sure if you know anything about magic, you'll know what that is. But it's a very cool trick. And like I say, Morley used to do that. He was a bit, he liked a little friendly flirtation, so that was his kind of thing. Okay, so what's this? It's got goo stuck on it, which is not attractive. This is, oh man, it's a prediction pad of some sort. The prediction is sealed. Do I want to open it? No, I'm going to leave it a mystery. So it's a pad of some sort. So is it a out to lunch pad? It's not an out to lunch pad. Oh, okay. It's an add a number pad, I think. So you would open it this way. Yeah, there you go. So this is a classic add a number pad, where what you would do is you would write, you'd have the spectators write a bunch of numbers on there, 3 or 4 digit numbers. You close it up, you hand the pad to someone else to open and total all the numbers, and when they open up the pad, the prediction appears. So that's a trick in itself. That's trick number 1. But then because it's magnetically locked, they see a list of numbers that you've pre-written, and then of course total it up to give a total that you already know. Loads of different versions of that. All kinds of James Bond contraptions, but that's like a big magnety block that just clicks in there. So that prediction will probably be someone's total. So they'd open it up, remove the prediction, and just go into it. I'm going to leave it sealed. I like the idea. I'm not going to know what that is, but that's a add a number pad from there. We've got a box of sparkling flash cigarettes. Oh my god. So were these like flash paper? Oh my god. Man, I can't believe that these would pass health and safety now. I think this is a flash paper cigarette. So I don't know what the idea was. You give it to a friend and then just give them serious burns as part of your entertainment pleasure. They were $11.50. And this is going to be old, so that's expensive, man. More expensive than actual cigarettes. There's instructions in here. I'm hoping it doesn't say just, give to someone and let them light it up. Flash cigarettes from Panda Magic. Here are a few routines to start off. Do not hesitate to create your own and send them to us by email. Take a flash cigarette and a bubblegum pack or patch to quit smoking in classic palm position. Explain you quitted smoking in a grandiloquent way. Is that a word? Is that a word? Grandiloquent up here? Never heard of that one. That's a good one. 4 million points in Scrabble. And tell them that how you did it. Burn the flash cigarette and then the bubblegum or the patch will appear in a flash of light. There you go. There's also card to cigarette and production. Not sure I would risk those, but very entertaining. I don't know. Might be worth a Google, see if Panda Magic is still around or if they've been sued into closure. Making flash, like, consumable products. There's 2 boxes, so someone was into that. There's a little black bag. Mystery. There's some sort of metal doodad here. I don't know what that is. It reminds me of... There used to be a thing, they kind of fit together. I can't remember what it was called now. It had 2 brass rings and then a solid brass block in the middle, and you had a stack of genuine 10p's and they passed through the block one at a time. Kind of worked like a slot box. You tipped out and it retained one. You dropped them in the top and tapped. Kind of looks like that, but I don't know where, because it's kind of recessed there, so maybe it does have the slot box thing still, and then maybe you put a folded note through the middle of that or something, and then they go through the note, or a card that, strip a card maybe, I don't know. Weird. Looks like some sort of mechanical thing for fixing stuff. And then we've got a little wallet with, I don't know why magic wallets have this over a certain age. They have these very attractive gold corners, which is a little bit weird. I'm going to wake my laptop back up. There we go. That probably tells you I've been talking too long. And what's in here is a pile of laminated bridge size cards. Jesus. In a very attractive plastic leatherette with brown corners. And then there's a prediction one there. There's a 6 of diamonds in there, which doesn't come out. Oh, okay, there's a 6 of diamonds in there and a 5 of spades behind. So I'm guessing that does not want to come out of there. I don't know quite what the trick was there, but I'm going to give it some violence. But no, that's here we go. That's really in there. Okay, so what I guess it was some sort of like comedy prediction thing. So you would force the 6 of diamonds. No, you'd force the 5 of spades out of that bundle. Show the prediction there, and then maybe just like a casual flash of it, and then you'd set the card down, and then of course that turns out they think it's a sucker trick. They think you've got the prediction wrong, but then it changes. Maybe it's something like that. So again, if you know any of this stuff, do let me know because there's no instructions or anything, so I'm just winging it as we go. This is a what is this? This is old Milk magazine gimmick. These were pretty good ones though, pretty thick. Some of the other ones seem to be made out of the stuff that A4 documents used to come in. That's pretty good. I don't know if it's still available, but Alan Jackson used to do an amazing version of this. It was a torn and restored liquid in the newspaper thing. It was really, really cool using one of these gimmicks. He had a big newspaper. He poured the liquid in it and then tore the thing to shreds and then restored it and then tipped the liquid back out. It was amazing, like such a good trick. Proper old school, obviously, but just such a good trick. Another bag of some sort of ring release thing with the wand again. So whoever's stuff this was, they were really into that as a trick. Maybe we've been missing out. I don't know. What have we got here? This is a mysterious bag of round things. So that's, that's good. Let's have a shifty here. Got 1B, 2B, 3B. It says in the corners there they're marked, or 4B. So let's have a look. 1B. Oh man, okay. So this looks like some sort of number force thing, is it? So that's 1B, 1. Oh, okay. So 1 is the blue. So maybe it's like a colour force thing. So you would lay these out, and then so you'd have them. You'd ask for a number between 1 and 4, and you'd have a prediction of blue. And then whatever they said. So they said number 3. You'd then bring out that envelope from your pocket. And you say, okay, so you want number 3, open this up, wherever the opening is. Oh, man, that's old. Oh, no, I'm opening the bottom. There we go. Let's open the top. So you go, number 3, okay, well, these have all got different colours on the back, You could have said any number. Number 1, you'd have had red. Number 4, you'd have had green. Number 3, you'd have had blue. Number 2, you'd have had yellow. You have the number 3. Your colour is blue. And that matches your prediction or your just chance thing or whatever you had going on. So I guess that's what that's from. I don't know what the actual routine was, but obviously some sort of platformy thing. There you go, like a old drinks coaster trick. Props with everything here. There's a silver case. There's some other stuff there. Let's grab. There is so much stuff in here, I'm going to do. I'll tell you what, we'll get out a handful and then I'll do that lot. And then I'll save the rest for another video because I know that we're all quarantined and can't go anywhere, but you don't want to be. I don't want to bore you even in those circumstances. So let's see what we got here. Metal business card case. Oh, this is one of the These are really popular for a while, the little briefcases to put your business cards in. I had a routine with, I've seen one of these recently actually, and the little catches work. How cool is that? I used to do a trick with a card that appeared in it, and I got a set of thumb cuffs and they're tiny little handcuffs from a joke shop, and then I used to have the thing in there and then put the handcuffs through the handle and then put it on a spectator's thumb or finger, whatever. It was quite a good little routine, really. It was a very normal routine, but that little bit made it quite cool. Yeah, so that was in there. That's good. I might use that. Did learn the routine again. This is a trick called Melt from years and years ago. I think Tony Curtis had these made. I seem to remember Tony when I was a kid having these. And Kaymar, we stocked them. We sold 1 million of them. Probably not actually 1 million, but near enough. So the trick was you have 2 cards in the wallet. And what we're going to do is we're going to take them out. I'm going to give you the Jack of Diamonds. Let me do it so you can still see everything there. And then the 9 of Clubs goes on top like that, but face down. And then you give the cards a little squeeze, and if you push too hard, you push all the clubs off the 9 through and onto the back of the Jack. And you can hand them out and have them examined. It was a pretty cool trick. Yeah, really, really cool. And a really clever method as well, which I'm not going to reveal to you here. But I will say that that's reset and ready to go again. That was a pretty cool trick called Melt. So that's cool. I love anything where you can just have it in your pocket and off you go. These are bill tubes again, like the one we had, this rock solid one before. This one is older, definitely, and really thin. Really, really thin at the top. I don't know. Oh, no. Maybe that's not a gimmicked one for whatever reason. They might have 2 regular bill tubes just in case you, I don't know, in case you can actually do the effect. Oh, this one feels a bit heavier. Okay. So maybe we've got 1 regular one that you could hand out for examination and 1 gaffed one. Ah, yeah, there you go. A bit smaller, but probably a bigger load tube in it. And then that, yeah, pushes in. Still works. So old. A bit of brasso on that. That'd probably come up quite nice. And I'm amazed the padlocks still have the keys in there. Quite often in these boxes of stuff, you find like a mysterious wooden box with a lock on it, and you never get to know what's in there. There's some other random key in the same bag. I'm assuming that that's not part of that, but there you go. So bill tubes, including 1 regular one if you wanted to. There's another time machine watch here, so let's have a quick look, see if that one works. Oh, it's exactly the same watch, just packaged differently by the looks of it. No life in that either. Yeah, I'd be interested if a change of battery would just get those up and running. I don't see why not. But yeah, there you go. That's from Magic Makers. So we've got 2 of those. They were quite expensive back in the day. That would have been an expensive trick. What have we got here? We got a whole... Alright, we've got something with a magnet in. That silk is just going in the bin. That's that sort of colour where it should be white, but this has happened somehow. I don't trust that was ever meant to be that colour. That's gone. We've got... what have we got here? Oh, super strong magnet, which I'm going to keep away from my computer and phone and wallet and pacemakers and everything. We're going to set that over there. We've got a little mysteriously taped up, very well taped up box of something. What's that in there? We're learning new things today, people. Oh, okay, just a pile of different magnets and things. Probably a good idea if you're inventing your own tricks. So that's pretty cool, if a little anticlimactic. We got a mysterious black bag that is hooked on this thing, and inside the mysterious black bag is a chain for some reason. It's yeah, weird. Got like a weird double thing going on. Don't know what that's about. I thought maybe it was the endless chain, but it's not a loop, so I'm guessing it's not that. And it hasn't got a fastener. So yeah, don't know what that is. I can't imagine that it's particularly good. You never know. Someone thought it was good enough to put in a bag. That's how you can tell whether a trick is good or not. What's this one in here? We've got another little bag here. Is this the same sort of thing? Oh man, so I don't think it's been undone for a while. Open up, you bastard. There we go. And then there is another chain of some sort. Ah, so that one is in a loop, so that's going to be for the old elusive chain, which again, you don't see a whole lot now. I used to be able to do that. There's a wicked thing where you would... Oh man, I can't even begin to remember it now. You would chuck it like that, wouldn't you? And then they would choose one of the loops. Oh, I used to dem that all the time. But yeah, gonna actually have to try and remember that. So there's an endless chain there. And then we've got half of a pocket watch with double eagle on there. Maybe that is a regular one and the back is missing. Well, I don't know. The thing doesn't turn, doesn't do anything, but it does turn there. Not sure what that is. Very mysterious. There was an old trick years ago with a pocket watch that was in bits and you put it in a handkerchief and it fixed, but I don't think it's that, because that feels like it is just missing a part, which might turn up later on. You never know. It's a big box of stuff. And finally, for today's video, we've got this little brass thing with some 5p's in. So it's not that old if they're new 5p's compared to some of the tricks. I don't know what this is, you know. Is it like a dynamic coins? Seems very big for a dynamic coins. No, I've dented my table, but not exposed any gimmicks, so I'm not... Ah, it is a dynamic coins. There you go. Excellent. I just fooled everybody. If you've not seen it before, they're like, oh my god, where'd the coins come from? So that was obviously a thing to turn the old 5p's into the new 5p's. These are old. Jesus, look. There's going to be people that have never seen an old 5p before. They used to be that big, people. Times were different. It's got two regular ones as well on top. So, yeah, so the idea of this would be you'd have your stack of little ones and then your bigger ones over the top. And then you would pick that up, set them down on there. They make coin noises, which is very good. And I love the fact that you've got... You could even take one off the stack and leave that as like a before and after thing for the change, maybe. And the ring went round. Then this last cap went on top. And you gave it a little shaky and a little spin. And then it would open up. And they've all turned into new 5p's. And it's pretty examinable. You might find out the secret, but only by putting some huge dents in their table. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. There's still loads of the box left, but I don't want to just spend all of your day watching me go through that. So we're going to split the video into a few different parts. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something new. If you know what any of the stuff is that I didn't, let me know. And if you can give any of it a home, then contact me, because I don't know what's going to happen to it otherwise. All right. I hope you are keeping safe and well in these serious times. There is an apocalypse going on, we've been led to believe, outside. So I hope you're all keeping well, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.